Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to the Heart Walk Week of Wellness. We are so excited to have you here with us today for Move More Monday with our first event of the week sponsored by Pool & Kent, our chair yoga. We just want to thank you so much for joining us today and make you aware that all week long, we will have free activities, free resources, all tailored around the mission to eat smart, move more, and be well, with the grand finale, of course, on this Saturday, the 16th, Heart Walk Day. And no matter where you heart walk, we want to see how you're walking and celebrating our mission. So be sure to hashtag MD Heart Walk on our Facebook event page and share with us how you heart walk. We hope you'll also consider joining us at the Camden Yard Sports Complex. But otherwise, we're excited to celebrate with you all week long. If you haven't seen yet, we have a really exciting fundraising challenge running through today. So every day there will be new exciting contests and challenges. And today that challenge is the participant who fundraises the most online new dollars, meaning new dollars today, will win a special Baltimore bundle. That includes 4 tickets to the Science Center, 2 Baltimore Symphony tickets, and one $50 gift card to Baltimore Coffee and Tea. So definitely use today, kick off that fundraising. If this is something that motivates and excites you, we'll have new challenges all week long. But otherwise, I just wanted to thank you for your support of our mission and introduce the amazing Kelly Bethel, who will be leading today's chair yoga session. So at this time, I'm going to pass it off to her and we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you again.
Good morning. Thank you. I'm thrilled to be back leading chair yoga and yoga here with the American Heart Association. It's an organization that's near and dear to my heart. So I highly value the work they do. And as someone who has loved ones who have sustained strokes, I'm deeply indebted to their mission. So first, I really do want to say a huge thank you to Pool & Kent. It means the world that they're sponsoring this event for me. I'm a firm believer in the practices of yoga. I offer yoga for brain injury and stroke. And so I've seen the power of it. And so I'm just really grateful that they chose chair yoga to sponsor today. So just a little bit, first off, I'm Kelly Bethel. I'm a PT and a yoga therapist, and I'm a professor at Maryland University of Integrative Health. And I just, in general, just about yoga, one of the reasons why yoga is really good for everyone is that it's a whole person approach. And in yoga, we use tools like breath practice, which we call pranayama, meditation or mindfulness practice, and then the yoga poses that you typically see on the magazines as you're checking out of the grocery store. Yoga has really increased in popularity in the US, and we have now real scientific evidence that shows that yoga is really an important part of a person's wellness program. So it's a great way to kick off American Heart Walk because really everyone can do yoga, and yoga can be highly modifiable. We know from research that yoga helps with strength and flexibility. We know it helps with balance and proprioception and coordination. It can help lower the heart rate. It can help lower the blood pressure. And we know that it improves overall breathing patterns. We also know that yoga has now been shown to help with depression and anxiety. It's an amazing tool to help decrease stress because we can map that it creates a relaxation response in the body. So really, really easy tool. And you're going to see today, we're going to do chair yoga. And this is a great practice for anyone. It can be modified, but it's also really good for all of us who are still working remotely or doing more remote and more sitting through telehealth and not going in the office now or telework. So we have seen recent studies that actually yoga helps lower cardiovascular risk factors. For those who've had a stroke, there are significant benefits for stroke survivors, including cognition, emotional, and physical function, and overall can improve someone's activities of daily living. Couple things just to keep in mind as we go through today. It has a tremendous benefit for all of us and can be easily modified for chronic conditions. But it's really important that you work with someone who is a knowledgeable instructor, especially when you have stroke or heart issues. So certain medical conditions and physical limitations require modifications or are contraindicated for a participant. And you're going to see me mention a few of them today as we go through today's practice. Additionally, for any of those beginning an exercise program, it's important to speak with your doctor to make sure that you are cleared for exercise. So I'm going to We're going to get started. I'm going to stay here for a second and then I'm going to pop back into my chair, but I'm just going to invite you if you are not in a chair, preferably one that's not on wheels. I'm going to slide out of mine because it has wheels on it, that you get into a more solid base. If you're sitting on the sofa, that's fine. But I just invite you to come into a comfortable seated position. And I'm just going to scoot out and grab my chair. So we're going to come into a very comfortable seated position here. And then you can sit with your bottom all the way back to the chair. If you want a little more support, if you want to sit closer to the edge, you're going to work your abdominals a little bit more. But we're going to start here and create our mountain pose. So just take a little bit of time, ground into your feet. You should feel your inner thighs firing, navel pulls into spine, shoulders are down, and you can just rest your hands in your lap, or you can even clasp your hands. And we're going to start actually with just noticing how our body is moving today. Every day is different. So we're going to actually start with our breath. So you may want to close your eyes, that's up to you. But I invite you now just to begin to notice the breath. So as you take an inhale in, and as you take an exhale out, just begin to notice the breath. In yoga, we recommend that you breathe in and out through your nose. It's more energy efficient, it cleans the air, it warms the air, but that's not always available. So just breathe however your body wants to breathe. And just begin to notice the breath. So if you're breathing in through the nose or in through the mouth, just begin to feel it come into the body. Feel it come in, go down through the throat. Notice as it comes down into the lungs. Notice what your ribs are doing when you take a breath in. Do they open to the sides, to the front, to the back? Maybe your belly comes forward on the inhale. And then as you begin to exhale out, notice as the breath leaves the body. Notice the belly may be drawing into the spine. Notice the ribs may be pulling front, back, sides. Feel the breath come across the throat and then out. And whatever you're noticing, that's your body and that's okay. That's where it is today. Every day is different. There's no judgment here. Just a few more breaths, just noticing the in and out. And then on the next set of inhales and exhales, just notice the pattern your breath is making. Is it smooth and easy? Is it like waves on an ocean? Breath in, breath out. Good. And then on the next breath in and the next breath out, let's see which is longer, the inhale or the exhale. So in your next breath in, you may either count or tap how many seconds it takes to take that full breath in. You can add a brief pause at the top and then exhale out and notice how many seconds it takes to take that full breath in and out. And let's do that one more time. Inhaling in and exhaling out. Beautiful. And while we're observing, let's just check in and see where our body is today so we can honor it as we practice. So you're actually going to start at the top of the head and notice the muscles underneath the skin all the way down to the bones. And then come into the muscles of the face, soften the inner and outer corners of the eyes, relax the jaw. And then bring your attention into your throat. And notice the front, the back, the sides. And then from the throat, we're going to travel out to the shoulder joint and check in there. So notice those muscles along the way. And just notice the upper arm and the elbows and the forearms and the wrist and the fingers. And again, no judgment. We're just checking in so we can honor ourselves today. And then coming back into the muscles of the chest, we check in there, the muscles between the ribs and the belly. And then shift your focus to the upper back, the mid back, the low back. Check in with your hips and your thighs and your knees and your ankles and toes. And then just notice how your energy level is today. While it's a gentle class, we are going to do all parts of the body. So just notice if something ever needs a little bit more love and attention and maybe a softer touch today. From here, we'll move into our breath practice. In yoga, we call that pranayama. We're going to stick specifically with breath practices that we know activate the parasympathetic nervous system to create that relaxation response. So So we're going to start pretty basic. You can bring a hand on the belly if you wish. And I just invite you to begin to return to that natural inhale and that natural exhale. And from here, just begin to naturally lengthen it. Nothing's forced. And if it starts to create any type of tension or anxiety, just breathe how your body wants to breathe. It knows what to do. Begin to just deepen the breath so that you begin to feel the belly coming towards the front of the room and the navel pull back towards the spine. And the exhale out. Okay, let's do 2 more like this. You want to just release your hand down, take a couple rounds of natural breath. And then we're just going to move into what we call a 1 to 2 breath ratio. We know when our exhales are longer than our inhales, that helps relax the body. So I invite you now on your next inhale to count how many seconds it takes to take that full breath in. Pause at the top and exhale out 1 breath, 2 breath, no more than double of what it took to inhale in. So if you took 3 seconds to breathe in, pause at the top and breathe out at least somewhere between 4 and 6 seconds. Good, and let's just do 3 more like that. And now when you finish, just return to natural breath. One of the things that makes yoga is that it's a mindful movement practice. So we're going to combine a little bit of this breath that we've been working with some movements now. So we're going to begin to move, and we'll start with the wrist. And as we're beginning to just make some wrist circles, I just want to remind you of a couple of things as we practice. Nothing should hurt, shouldn't cause any pain. You must breathe, switch directions if you have it. Can't fall over. And I have one very gentle twist. Bring your hands down. I have one very gentle twist at the end of practice. If you are more than 12 weeks pregnant and on this call, I ask that you just sit and breathe and skip that gentle twist. It's just what seems contraindicated in yoga after 12 weeks. So I just invite you to just return to breath. We're only going to be doing this for a couple of poses, so you won't really miss anything. All right, so from here, let's begin to do some ankle circles. So you can send whatever leg that you want out in front. And let's just do 5 circles one way, 5 circles the other. Good. And then we switch sides. And I invite you to use the full inhale on the breath in, on the top of the circle, and the full exhale as you make the bottom half of the circle. And then change directions. Just starting to get some movement back into the body now. Beautiful. Let's come back into that seated mountain pose. And let's just start with stretching the wrist. So now we're going to take the right wrist and pull it back. And you can see from the side, not really cranking on it. I'm just bringing it back gently. And then we're going to bring it down. So for those who spend a lot of time on the computer, this is a really good one. Good. And then we'll switch sides. If you've had a stroke and you have one side that doesn't move as well as the other, you can just clasp your hands and go back and forth like this as well. All right, let's do that one more time. Let's pull the right hand back and then point it down. And then we'll switch to the other side. Very gentle stretch and point it down. Good. And then let's come back to that seated mountain. So we'll just take a moment and just reground into the floor. We're activating the inner thighs. We're letting the sit bones connect to the chair. Navel's pulled in, the shoulders are down. And then let's begin to get some movement going now in the shoulders. So we're going to bring the shoulders up, back, down, and around. Very, very gentle. Good. And then we're going to change directions. Again, if something doesn't feel right, if this movement doesn't work well in your body, just sit and breathe for a few breaths. Good. And then finding stillness. Let's come down to the hips a little bit of hip, a little bit of core. If you're feeling like you need a little more support today, scoot your bottom back towards the back of the chair. I'm going to turn just a little bit on the diagonal so you can see what I'm doing. You are welcome to stay where you are. You don't need to move. But let's start with the right leg. We're going to inhale it up and exhale it down. And then we'll do the other side, inhaling up and exhaling it down. And you notice that I don't have a lot of movement. I'm engaging my abdominals and my core, and I'm still breathing because I'm talking. Good. Inhale up, exhale down so it's nice and slow. Good. And then let's do one more each way. Beautiful. And then come back to that seated mountain. And let's do a little bit more now with the shoulders getting a little more movement involved. So you can either bring your arms like this and deepen it, or you can bring your hands onto your shoulders. So these are called angel wings. And you want to think like whichever position of this you're taking, that your elbow's almost like a crayon and you're making big circles. So we're going to inhale up and exhale back down. And we're going to do that 4 more times this way. Good. And then we're going to change directions. Good. And then we're going to come to stillness. Good. Again, just make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. Let's bring the hands to heart center now. We're going to do what we call a reverse breaststroke breath. So we're going to bring the arms out to the side as we inhale and pull forward. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the hands into the chest. And we're going to do that 4 more times. Inhaling out. Notice that my shoulders haven't crept up in my ears. My arms are below 90 degrees. Beautiful. And then just coming to stillness, bringing the hands onto the thighs. Let's work a little bit with the low back now. I'm going to turn sideways just so you can see what I'm doing. You don't need to. So we're going to come into cat and cow pose. And this again is another great one if you're spending a lot of time sitting in the chair. I really recommend to my clients that every hour they're getting up and moving around. So let's roll back onto the sacrum and round over, slide the hands along the thighs. And you can drop the head just to a little bit of flexion here. We're just going to stay here for a few breaths. So this pose is this cat cow pose that we're about to do. If you're spending a lot of time sitting these days, this is a really nice one to do about every hour. Slide the hands along the sides, roll the shoulder blades back, lift the chest just ever so slightly. And this is cow pose. Good, and then we're going to just add a little bit of flow with this. So we're going to inhale, come back into cow, and just take a full inhale and a full, cat. We're going to take a full inhale and a full exhale here. And then take one more inhale and slide yourself back into that cow pose. And then on the exhale, you're going to come into cat. Nice slow movement. No pain should be happening. If it is, do less. Or just come back to seated mountain and just take a few quiet breaths there. Good. Let's do 2 more each way. Good. And then let's just return to that mountain pose. Good. I'm going to stay sideways so you can see where I'm going. We're going to do a little bit more with the shoulders now. So you have some options here. You can either bring the arms straight out with the thumbs up, palms are towards each other, and notice that I'm right at 90 degrees. I'm not up here or down here. I'm also sitting up nice and tall. If this is too much for you, feel free to interlace your hands like so. Okay. So we're going to just work on the shoulder blade now. We're going to inhale, reach forward. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades back. Let's do that 4 more times. Inhale forward, exhale back. Good, last one. And then just bring your arms down just for a second. We're going to add on to this. So now this becomes a 2-part movement. So it becomes it's going to take 2 full breaths to compete. So we're going to bring our arms back to the starting position again. Thumbs are up, palms are towards each other, or you're holding your hands like so. We're going to inhale, reach forward. Exhale, bring them up. Inhale down, exhale, release. Very gentle. Now if you start feeling like this is becoming a cardiac workout, just stop, rest your arms. Inhale forward, exhale up, inhale down, exhale release. Let's do 2 more. Inhale forward, exhale up, inhale down, exhale release the shoulder blades. Last one, forward, up, down, release. Beautiful. Rest the hands onto the thighs. We're going to come back and do a little bit more now with the core. So we're going to come into toy soldier now. And again, if you want a little more abdominal work, you can bring yourself towards the edge of the chair as long as you don't fall off. Or if you're feeling a little tired today, feel free to scoot your bottom back and use the back of the chair for support. So now we're going to go opposite arm and legs. We're going to inhale the right leg up, left arm and down. And again, breath with movement. Inhale up, exhale down. Notice that I'm not moving a whole lot. Beautiful. Good. Keep going. Let's do this 3 more times on each side. Good. And then just come back into that nice seated mountain. Again, I'm just going to turn a little bit to the side so you can see where we're going, but you stay seated just as you are. We're going to bring the arms out to the side now. We're going to reach the fingertips down towards the floor. We're getting a really gentle stretch across the pecs, opening the heart a little bit. So we're reaching down to the floor, draw the shoulder blades together. Head can just come into just a slight bit of extension, nothing extreme. If you have any cervical issues, feel free to not move the neck. Good, and now we're gonna sit and hug a giant beach ball. So roll back onto that sacrum, round over, come into that slumpasana position that I call it. Reach the fingertips forward and just getting a little bit of stretch now on the back part of the shoulder blades. Good, come back up. Let's do this again. This time we're gonna just do it just slightly, just a little bit more deeper. If the first one felt good, stay there. If you'd like a little bit more, you now can reach back on a 45-degree angle, draw the shoulder blades back, reach down to the floor. Again, just a little bit of lift of the chin and just a really nice stretch across, very gentle stretch, nothing extreme. Good, and then one more time, round over and hug that giant beach ball. Reach the hands forward, and that's just getting a really nice stretch across the back of the shoulder blades. Good, sit up nice and tall. And we're gonna keep moving a little bit more with the shoulders now. So my students will tell you that I sometimes name my own poses. So this is one of my favorites and it's totally appropriate for American Heart Association. So I call this one Stop in the Name of Love. So this is Stop in the Name of Love. And since it's Halloween, we're gonna add a little bit more with what I call Scarecrow pose. So we're gonna come into Scarecrow. And these are very important poses because they work the shoulder that are really functional things. This is the shoulder movement that can be challenging sometimes. If this is not in your skill set or it hurts, please just stop and breathe. Inhale up, exhale down. So we're gonna go from Stop in the Name of Love to Scarecrow. And we're gonna do that just a few more times. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down, and we'll make this the last one, just coming into that Stop in the Name of Love. Good, and then bring the arms down to the side and roll. All right, this one's gonna work both your brain and your core a little bit here. So we're gonna take the right arm to the left knee. So this time though, we're gonna cross midline. So we're gonna inhale up, tap, exhale down. Now, if your shoulder bothers you, you don't have to go so high. Switch sides. Good. So you decide how much shoulder you wanna do. Again, sit up nice and tall. Try not to sit back on your tailbone like I just did. Engage those abdominals and your back muscles. Good, we got 2 more each way. And this last one each side. Good, and then finding stillness and sitting up nice and tall. All right, we're gonna come into seated goddess pose. We're gonna bring our legs wide now. And we're going to turn the toes out. And you can bring your hands on the hips just to see how that feels. And again, if you want a little less support, scoot yourself towards the edge of the chair, a little bit more, scoot back. Beautiful. So goddess, we can bring the hands into heart center. Or the full version of this pose is actually to bring the elbows in and the palms up. We'll just stay here for a few breaths. We're going to flow just a little bit here in a second. So it's important to be able to do poses that we hold, but in life we have to maintain sitting balance and standing balance and moves. So it's always nice to pair it with a little bit of breath here. So we'll inhale up and exhale down. Good. And let's do 4 more like this. Inhaling up, exhaling down. If that bothers your shoulders, feel free just to go out to the side. Good. 2 more. Beautiful. And bring the hands down to the hips. We're going to play a little bit more with shoulders now. So I'm going to give you a couple options. If you have a shoulder issue, or if you have some weakness in this arm, you don't need to raise your arm up. You can hold on at the elbow and just do the side bend. Okay, so this is your option if you have shoulder issues or weakness on one side. Otherwise, let's bring your right arm up. Inhale here, and we're just going to gently side bend over. And again, let's just take a few breaths. So you're either here or you're here. You pick your version. Good, and then let's return to the other side, inhaling. So this is opening the side ribs, the side of the heart. And again, pick your version for your shoulders. Good, and then return. And now again, like I said, it's important to be able to hold stuff statically, but let's add a little bit of movement. Now again, we're bringing the arm up overhead. So if that's challenging for you, then just stay holding on at the elbow, all right? So you're either here or your arm's up. So let's take the right arm, inhale it up, exhale, side bend over, and then return. And let's do the other side. Inhale up and over and return. And again, let's do 2 more each way. Last one each side. Beautiful. And come back to that seated mountain. We're going to stay in this wide leg goddess just a little bit more, but we're going to now take a reverse warrior in this goddess. So we're going to bring the arms out into warrior 2. So notice that I'm not up here. My shoulders are down. Right there. Right? Shoulders are not in the ears. Good. And then my arms are just straight out to the side. And again, if you have one side that's weak, just do one arm. All good. All right. From here, let's turn the right arm palm up. Inhale here. Exhale, reverse over. And again, we'll just take a few breaths here. Beautiful. Come back up into those warrior 2 arms with goddess legs. Then turn the palm up. Inhale here. Exhale, reverse over. Good. Coming back up again. Palms are down. Let's just add a little bit of breath with movement here, creating just a little bit of mindfulness. Turn the palm up on the right. Inhale up and over. Exhale down, other side, palm up. Inhale up and over. Good. We're going to go 2 more each way. Last one this way. And we'll return to stillness. You can walk those legs in, just recreate that mountain. Now we're going to take just a little bit of a twisting pose here. Very, very gentle twist. Again, if you're more than 12 weeks pregnant, please opt out of this twist. Let's take the right hand to the left knee, sit up nice and tall. The other thing that we're going to do with this twist is we're not going to twist the neck. So we're going to keep what we call the nose over the sternum. The neck is not going to twist in this pose. So the right hand comes to the left knee, sit up nice and tall. And then let's very gently twist the belly, then the ribs, then the chest. But the nose stays where it is. The head doesn't twist. You're twisting on a very nice tall spine. Good. And then let's come back to center and we'll build it on the other side. So now let's take the right hand to the left knee. This hand actually can sit on the thigh. You can sit on the chair behind you. You can sit on the sacrum, whatever works for you. So sit up nice and tall. And again, same rules apply. Take an inhale in, and on the exhale, just twist the belly first, then the ribs, then the chest. Beautiful. And then come back to center. And now we're just going to add a little bit of again, breath with movement here, a little bit of a flowing twist. So we're going to inhale up and over and just flow from side to side. So inhale, exhale. Keeping the spine long, nice gentle twist. Good. And then just return to stillness. So just a couple more poses, and then we're going to come into just a little bit of guided meditation and a Shavasana, which is the most important pose that we do in yoga. And it's the one that requires the least amount of effort, but is sometimes the hardest. So I want to just take a moment and let's stretch the hamstring since we're in sitting. So again, you stay where you are. I'm going to turn just a little bit on the 45 degrees so you can see where we're going. We're going to sit up nice and tall and recreate that mountain pose. So really, really important that we're up tall, our spine is elongated, and our inner thighs are firing, pelvis is connected, core is firing, and the chest is up and in a neutral. You don't want to look in a military posture, but you're up nice and tall. Let's take the right leg. We're going to send it long. Notice that my foot is bent back. It's what we call dorsiflexion, but it's bent back towards my shin. So sit up nice and tall here. My knee is straight, but it's not locked out or hyperextended. My hands are on my hips. See how this feels? For those who want a little bit more, you can hinge. Notice that when I hinge, my spine stays long from head to tail. I'm not bending at the back, I'm bending at the hips. So if you want a little bit more and it's in your practice today, you can inhale in, and on the exhale, gently lengthen over the extended leg. And we're going to take this for just a few breaths. Good. And then we're going to point the toe down and get a stretch across the front of the foot. Sometimes we forget about the front of the foot. Good. Then bend that foot back, staying in this hamstring stretch. Good. And sit up nice and tall. We'll switch to the other leg. I'm just going to switch directions so you have a better view. All right. So now we're sending the left leg long, foot is flexed. Each side's going to be different. And again, avoid hyperextending that knee or locking it out. Check it and see how you feel here. This feels like a good stretch. Stay here if you want a little bit more. Hinge at the hips, getting a nice stretch across the back of the leg. If you want a little bit more, you can stretch the front of the foot now by pointing the toe down. Good. And let's bend the foot back. Good, walk that in. Beautiful. We're going to stretch the rotators of the hips here. And I'm going to give you a lot of different options along the way. If you have hip issues, you're going to either stay like this and just breathe, or you may cross at the ankle. So if this feels good, or you can't go, you have any arthritis or issues, you're going to stay here. For those that would like a little bit more, you can take the left leg and just cross it over the right. Notice that my ankle is on top of the thigh, or it's on the outside of the thigh, and my foot is flexed. And you might feel this in the back part of your hip here. And you can stay here if you want a little bit more, not pushing on the leg, but using the energy, using your own muscles. You can push that foot down towards that knee down towards the floor. We're just going to stay here for a few breaths. If this is like a good golly, Miss Molly, get me out of this, just come out of it and breathe. Nothing's supposed to hurt. Stretch is fine. Pain is not. Good. And then let's release out of that. You can do a little bit of twist and shout here. Good. Sit up nice and tall. So again, you have options here. You can do the same thing on the other side. Again, if this hip bothers you, then you're just going to stay here and breathe, or you're going to cross at the ankles. If you want a little bit more, you may cross the leg over now. Notice that my bottom leg, the knee to ankle, is in alignment. My ankle is on the thigh or the outside, and I'm sitting up nice and tall. And if I want a little bit more, I can push that knee down towards the floor. I'm not pushing it. I'm using my muscles. Beautiful. And then you can release out of that and do just a little bit of twisting side to side. All right, let's just take one big breath together. So we're going to inhale in, bring that breaststroke breath, exhale, bring our hands to heart center. We do that one more time, inhaling, exhaling. And we're going to begin to settle in now to Shavasana. I'm going to take us into Shavasana through just a very gentle meditation. or mindfulness practice. It's based on the meta meditation. So it's pretty well researched and well used. So it's a variation of that. So I just invite you to come into a comfortable seated position. You can close your eyes if you wish. And I invite you to take a breath in and a breath out. And in your mind's eye, picture someone who loves you very much, whoever it is. It can be someone in the past, it can be someone in the present. It can be a friend, a family member, a teacher, just someone who loves you. And in your mind's eye, picture that person standing in front of you, sending you their love. They're sending you wishes of well-being and happiness. And feel the warm wishes and love coming from that person towards you. You may want to expand this and see yourself surrounded by all the people who love you and have loved you, all your friends and all your family. And they're just standing here sending you wishes of love and happiness and health. And just take a few breaths here, asking in their warm wishes and love from all sides. Now picture the person that you loved and send the love that you feel back to that person. Just like you wish that person to have happiness and health. And you're sending all your love and warm wishes to that person. And to yourself, repeat 3 times. May you be happy and may you be healthy. May you be happy and may you be healthy. And one more. May you be happy and may you be healthy. Now we're going to expand our awareness to the whole world. You can picture it as a globe or a ball in front of you. And we're going to send warm well wishes to the entire globe. And to yourself, you may wish to recite, may you be happy, may you be healthy. May you be happy, may you be healthy. May you be happy, may you be healthy. And we're just going to take this into Shavasana for just a few quiet moments. To let the work we've done settle into the body. Give ourselves permission to just be just for a few minutes. I promise you we'll end on time. So I invite you now to just begin to deepen the breath Begin to notice the sounds outside the room that you're in, and then the sounds inside the room. And just begin to bring some movement to whatever part of the body wants to move first. It can be slow micro movements, whatever feels good. And as we close our morning together, I invite you to bring your hands to heart center with the thumbs resting on the sternum. And just take a big breath in and a big breath out. And just thank yourself for doing something so good for your mind and your body today. Thank you for joining us at the start of American Heart Association week. Thank you especially to Pool and Kent for sponsoring this session this morning. Have a great week. We always close our practice with the word namaste, which means the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.